Well, welcome to another video. I was thinking of descriptions of awakening, descriptions of totality, and I remember a teaching of Huang Po, Zen master. I think he lived in 700 or 800 AD. Some of his teachings still exist. I remember reading one in particular and was tempted to change a few words, but I thought his description of awakening was really good and quite unique in a certain way. I'll read it here. It reads, "This pure consciousness, the source of everything, shines forever and on all with the brilliance of its own perfection. But the people of the world do not awaken to it, regarding only that which sees, hears, feels, and knows as objects that they perceive. Blinded by their own sight, hearing, feeling, and knowing, they do not perceive the spiritual brilliance of the source substance. Therefore, if you, students of the way, seek to progress through seeing, hearing, feeling, and knowing, when you are deprived of your perceptions, your way to awakening will be cut off and you will find nowhere to enter. Only realize that consciousness is expressed in these perceptions. It neither forms part of them nor is separate from them. You should not start reasoning from these perceptions nor allow them to give rise to conceptual thought. Yet nor should you seek enlightenment apart from them or abandon them in your pursuit of enlightenment. Do not keep them nor abandon them, nor dwell in them, nor cleave to them. Above, below, and all around you, all is spontaneously existing. For there is nowhere which is outside of consciousness." Of course, this is very similar to the Heart Sutra, I believe, which speaks about emptiness being form and form being emptiness. But Huang Po's notion that the perceptions are neither separate from consciousness nor are they the same as consciousness, which is something I was hinting at the last video that I shot about being with whatever's arising, the energy, the emotion that we're feeling, the tension in the body. Consciousness and awareness is there to perceive, and through the perception we can even notice consciousness. So from that perspective, I think the mandala is a wonderful representation of this. The interlocking pieces, each separate but each sort of being supported and supporting of each other piece. The hearing of the music, the music isn't consciousness, I wouldn't say, but it could never be apart from it either. And it's through the listening that consciousness can be touched on, experienced. For it is only in experiencing perceptions that we perceive things. It's all an experience. So, like the mandala, each piece interweaving into a whole. And sort of the circular nature of the mandala is quite interesting too, because it represents eternity. The Japanese enzo, beginninglessness and endlessness. The state of nature. And its interdependence. So I have a book here. I guess we can take a look at it. Just a coloring book of, which are quite popular now, of mandalas. No part separate, and is only given meaning within the context of the whole. I thought perhaps it would be fun to color some of these in for the video, but just looking at these. As symbols of totality. And we see these, of course, in Buddhist mandalas and the Native American sand paintings and some of the exquisite art of Islam and India, and it goes on and on. The further back it feels we go in time and into the spiritual traditions, we find these here. These mandalas. The perception is not separate from consciousness. And consciousness is never separate from what we perceive. Well, thank you for joining me for another video. If you wanted to add anything, please do. I would encourage it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.